Hi everyone. In this video, you will learn how to construct a balanced chemical equation. Alright, so let's take a look at example A. Carbon is burnt in oxygen gas to form carbon dioxide gas. Alright, step number 1, you write the word equation. Okay, now you have to look out for keywords such as to form. So you know carbon dioxide is actually the product. And then carbon and oxygen are the reactants. So you write the reactants on the left-hand side of the equation, and then you write down the product on the right-hand side of the equation. Alright, step number 2 is essentially a translation of the word equation, okay, into chemical formula. So basically for carbon, the chemical formula is C. Okay, you can actually refer to the periodic table for the chemical symbol for elements. Okay, for oxygen, some of you may conveniently write down O as the chemical formula. Now you have to bear in mind that some substances, they are diatomic in nature, alright? And one of them would actually be oxygen. So the chemical formula for oxygen is O2. Alright, recall hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and halogens, they are diatomic in nature. So some examples of halogens would be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So bear in mind that when you encounter all these substances, okay, you need to write down the correct chemical formula. Okay, so for oxygen, the correct chemical formula would be O2. And then we have carbon dioxide, CO2. Now, it's not enough to simply write down the chemical formula because essentially we want to obtain a balanced chemical equation. Okay, so you need to make sure that your equation is balanced. And how do you do it? Okay, step 3, you can actually briefly draw a table, okay, and then you count the number of atoms on the left hand side and the right hand side. Alright, so first of all, you need to include all the elements involved. So in this case, we have carbon and oxygen. Alright, on the left hand side, we have 1 carbon atom, and then we have 2 oxygen atoms. Okay, next on the right hand side, you also need to count the number of carbon atom. You have 1, and then you need to count the number of oxygen atoms. You have 2. Alright, you realize that the number of carbon atom on the left hand side is the same as the number of carbon atom on the right hand side, so it's balanced, and the same goes for oxygen. Okay, so this equation on its own is already balanced, right? In chemistry, the number 1 is actually not returned if the equation is already balanced, okay? Which means to say there is actually no need for you to put a 1 in front of carbon, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. It's understood that, okay, 1 unit of carbon reacts with 1 unit of oxygen to form 1 unit of CO2. Okay, it's understood. So there is no need for you to write a number 1 in front.